Today, I have compiled the top 5 scariest FNAF VHS tapes you will ever see. These VHS tapes can be a bit disturbing, so definitely keep that in mind. But if you're still around and you think you're up to it, go ahead and grab your popcorn and a drink, and let's go ahead and dive into tape number 1. It's your lucky day, as you've been chosen to run paranormal activity tests on the animatronic Freddy Fazbear. The job is simple. Give it a controlled shock, and if the animatronic moves, then you will identify it as a paranormal activity. Easy enough, right? To make life even easier, we actually have 2 cameras as well, watching the animatronic. But there's something sinister about this thing. The way it sits is so creepy, almost like it's filled with something evil. And then, to make matters worse, the lights go out. At this point, we don't have a choice. We need to hit this thing with a controlled shock and do it fast. Bingo, that seems to have done the trick, as Freddy is back to sitting. However, the lights still aren't back on. Everything seems to be normal again. That is until Freddy decides to look up. And after giving him a quick shock, nothing happens. He continues to stare into our eyes. And what really sends chills down my spine is the cameras are now disabled, and I have no idea where Freddy is anymore. That is until we finally get signal, and Freddy looks angry, staring up at the camera, and he's now standing. The date is July 20th, 1993. A Fazbear technician has been tasked with the job of replacing Chica's mask, as apparently some children have spilled some red juice on its face. And while he's there, the manager asked for him to check and make sure all the arcade machines are turned off.
Okay. It looks pretty good so far. Everything seems to be shut off down here. Alright, so let's head on over to the stage area where the animatronics are located.
Making his way over to the stage, he notices the 3 animatronics on it, as well as Foxy to the left. With his task still on his mind, he moves over to the Chica animatronic, who is slender and slim, and the perfect shape for a human to fit right inside. And Chica definitely has a red substance on her face. However, I don't think it's juice. Making his way over to the hand truck, he puts the camera down, pointing it directly at Chica. And what we see next is absolutely bone-chilling. Chica's eyes begin to light up purple, looking directly at the camera, and a soul of a child comes out.
So, looks like the film strip is a bit scratched. Anyways, in the meantime, I position the animatronic onto the hand truck. Let's get into the service room. God, that thing squeals so loudly. I really should get a new one. Also, the animatronic is pretty heavy. Okay. One step further. Great. My hand's oily. Make it to the bathroom real quick to wash this off.
Heading to the bathroom to wash off his hands, the camera slightly tilts towards the door, and again we see another hopeless soul.
Hey! Someone there? What was that? Probably closed to a draft and ventilation system or something. Anyways, let me get the new mask for the Chica out of the car real quick.
Blaming it on the ventilation system, he heads to the car to get the mask. Bringing it into the room again, he looks at the instructions for a second. However, that is until Chica becomes active, springing into action.
Well, let's take a look at the instructions.
Hey there, boys and girls!
Holy shit!
Are you ready to sing a little song with me and my friends? Be ready when it starts to play!
Jesus, that thing's supposed to be powered down. When did they invent a battery inside these things? But But the main power switch at the hip should still be there. Oh, okay. So now no server monitor should be able to move it at all. Let's just finish this all and head straight home.
Shocked by what happened, but just brushing it off, he makes his way over to the instructions.
Mask of the animatronic by pressing the 2 spring locks on the left and the right of the head. After, you should be able to easily pull out the mask and separate it from the rest of the plastic cover. Alright, step 2, take the new mask piece and push it slowly onto the animatronic's head. You should hear a clicking noise when the springs are locked. After that, the animatronic should be ready to go for the next stage performance. Well, let's try that out.
With Chica's mask removed, it's time to put on the new one. But what is that red substance on the old mask?
Sticky. Looks more like... Hold on. Is that... Is that blood? What? Where did I put that damn flashlight?
Hey, look! We made a new friend today!
Another night, another victim, and Chica has struck again. The date is November 13th, 1993. It's the night guard's first day on the job, and he's in for quite the surprise.
Here. Got some lockers. Don't know what's in that box. Oh, okay. It's very small compared to the last place I worked at. We have a message, so let's just listen to that. Oh.
Making his way over to the doorway, he hits the infamous button.
Oh my god, look at the take my head off.
A close call indeed. Once getting a look at the light switch, he turns it on and then makes his way over to the other door. After making sure both of them are working correctly, he sits down to start the night. For whatever reason, night guards seem to just want to fall asleep on the job. And that's exactly what seems to happen here, as when he eventually looks up at the monitor, he realizes the animatronics are all gone. Left in a panic, he makes the worst decision ever, turning on his flashlight and leaving through the doorway.
Look!
Eventually he comes across a familiar animatronic. Freddy is still on the show stage, but where are the other two? Oh, Chica's in the bathroom, making her infamous, really weird whisper noise.
What is this?
And after a while, charges at the night guard. Running as fast as he can, he eventually gets into his office, closing both doors. But wait a second, he forgot to check one thing.
Okay, I'm calling the police. They can deal with this. I have no idea what's going on here.
As he gets one last glimpse of the monitor, it says 1%. And now, the power is out, which means the doors are open.
This is not happening.
Freddy shows up at the left doorway, and our night guard has a choice, fight or flight. And he chooses flight, running from the right doorway, sprinting down the hall with his flashlight in hand.
Okay.
It looks like he's escaped as he gets into the parts and service room, slamming the door behind him. That is, at least, until he hears this.
Hey there, buddy. We best get you ready for showtime.
As the camera begins to pan out, you hear the horrifying screams of the night guard, getting ripped to pieces limb from limb by each of the animatronics in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, and thus another noob who couldn't complete night 1. The date is February 4th, 1989. A horrifying tape has finally been released to the public, titled Hell. This tape has been recovered from Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and has not been modified in any way, and user advised, this tape is very graphic and disturbing to watch. This tape highlights the horrifying thoughts that are going through Susie, aka the child inside of Chica's mind, and her remorse for the accidental murders that took place within the pizzeria. Mentioning a man in a purple shirt, Susie begs for freedom, wishing she could just put an end to this hell. This lost file shows the sad truth of what these animatronics really are. You see, a lot of us forget that these killer animatronics are just lost children's souls deep down inside, and just another tragic victim to the horrible crimes of William Afton. The date is August 24th, 1989. A paranormal investigator has decided to take a look at the mysterious Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
So I'll start with the animatronics first, and if they don't seem to be the source of the problem, then I guess we'll just move on to other stuff. Alright, let's see. Okay, if there's anyone in the room with me right now, please respond.
Pulling out a paranormal voice box, he asks for the ghost to respond to him, and a response he gets indeed.
Oh wasn't actually expecting an answer that quickly. Alright, I guess, so now that I know you're here, can you tell me your name? Wait a minute. We? What do you mean by that? Are there multiple spirits in the room with me right now? Hey, are you still with me?
Yes.
Oh, good. Alright, so, how long have you been in here, do you think?
I can't remember.
If you can't remember, that's fine. I wasn't expecting an answer anyway. What the was that?
Oddly enough, this man seems to be more concerned with the noise off in the distance than the fact that animatronics are speaking to him through a paranormal voice box.
So, and I know this may be a sensitive question, but how did you die? Are you even aware that you're dead?
Go away.
Go away? Why do you want me to go away? I'm afraid that's not really an option.
I said go away!
Somehow not getting the hint, the man decides to stay in the room, saying that he has no choice but to stay. As the lights go out and his flashlight flickers to darkness, he's greeted by Golden Freddy. With luck on his side, he escapes into the storage closet. Still alive, or at least now.
If I'd have been there for one more second, I would have been dead. And it's a goddamn fucking miracle that I'm still alive.